All right. Call the meeting to order at 6:44. Pledge of allegiance, please. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Cole?
Here.
Councilmember Schweer?
Here.
Councilmember Wong? Here. Councilmember Nordby?
Here.
Mayor Monge?
Here. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
So move, Councilmember Schweer.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Wong. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Consent agenda, item A, February 20th, 2024 workshop minutes. Item B, February 20th, 2024 city council meeting minutes. Item C, general claims, $2,776,324.31. Item D, HRA claims of $19,163.42. Item E, purchase 7 snowy statues for Arts and Culture Commission. Item F, resolution approving student commissioner appointment to the Arts and Culture Commission. Item G, purchase of electrical equipment of fuse cabinets and switchgear with basements. Item H, First Amendment to agreement for building official services. Item I, revised 2024 retainer agreement, Erickson, Bell, Beckman, and Quinn, PA. Item J, modify the use of ARPA funds. Item K, Emerald Ash Board grant budget adjustment. Item L, resolution approving an encroachment agreement for the Taco Bell site. Item M, resolution accepting donations for February 2024. Item N, building permit report, informational. Item O, surplus item of Chevy Volt. Item P, service agreement between the City of North St. Paul and Landis & Gear Technology, Inc.
Thank you. Anybody like to pull any of the items? If not, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
So move, Councilmember Cole.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Nordby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Remember those dark nights of winter before the sun before the sun came in the window?
Now we got our spotlight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Next part is open public,
Meeting open to the public.
open to the public at 6:46. John Schmall.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Just a short note, I met a neighbor here for the first time.
Oh.
And we were talking, and he said he has a rain garden. I said, and he told me where it was. And I said, you're the only person who maintains a rain garden. It's in beautiful shape. It doesn't have thistles growing out of it, and trees, and all this other stuff that most of the other rain gardens situation is right now. Anyway, cleanup day. It's on the opening of fishing again. You know, can't we have another day except for opening of fishing? We have enough problems right now that the number of people involved in outdoor activities, I know cleanup day is an outdoor activity, but could you think ahead, please? Because I have things to drop off, but I won't be here, just like last year. I won't be here.
Okay.
We had a problem with email notification of the meetings, and Friday went by. What has occurred is a big blow-up. All I would say is, if I say you forgot to send out the email notifications, I don't care if you send it out 2 days later. Just so you get it out there that I know people know that it's happening. And if Jenny and I joke back and forth and say things that are probably improper in an official communication, but that's just the way it is sometimes. But anyway, I just was ticked off because it's still, to this minute, there was no email notification as there had been for eons, years. And anyway. And then I just wanted to thank the finance director because he made sure that I knew of how to determine what the tax incident would be when there is the estimate of $800,000 to $900,000 a year to run the CC. And that is on a $300,000 house, a $200 bill. And nobody is saying that to everybody who gets up and says, are you willing to pay? What's your house worth? We'll tell you what your bill is going to be. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you. All right, close it to public, and
Anybody online?
Is there anyone online?
all right, thank you. No one in public, it's all yours.
All right. So city business action items and recommendations. Item A, Housy Park Reconstruction Project, received bids and awards contract. Morgan is out of town, but Candace, are you going to address that?
Welcome.
Thank you. Do my best to fill in while Morgan's gone. My name is Candace Amberg. I'm a landscape architect with WSB. And so I'm just here to answer any questions that you might have on the bidding process. We did bid this project once last year, and right after we bid, we received some bids. They were a little bit high, and the city decided to try and get one of those DNR recreation grants. So they applied for that, and they were successful. And so that brings us here 1 year later. So we rebid the project, knowing that we had that grant opportunity involved. And we got, I would say, very optimal timing for the bidding process. So we had those out there for about 3 weeks. We received 15 bids, and it was pretty tight bids. The bottom two, I think, were just like a little over 1,000 apart. And so the low bidder was Odessa 2. They have done work on numerous park projects for us over the years, so we are very confident in them being able to handle this project. And just to let you know, with all those bids, 15 bids that came in, I think only 3 were right at or above our estimate. And our estimate was based on the pricing that we received last year. The low bid came in like 100,000 and underneath that estimate. So again, just very optimal timing this year compared to last. So with that, I can just answer any questions that you might have.
No questions, but thank you.
Appreciate it.
you.
Good numbers, thank you.
All right, thank you.
And resolution to receive bids and award contract.
Yep. I have a motion for that?
So moved, Your Honor.
So move. Councilmember Nordby?
Second.
Second. Councilmember Cole? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay? Thank you.
Thank you. Item B is contract for private development for 17th Avenue and Delaware. And Brandy Howe, our Community Development Director, is going to address that.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I apologize, it looks like the staff report for this particular item did not make it into the agenda, so I'll read through that quickly with you. You'll recall that the city is owner of 2329 17th Avenue, a site that's located at the corner of 17th Avenue and Delaware. If you think back to last year, about this time, we issued a request for proposals from developers interested in purchasing the property. We selected 2 developers to present their proposals to Planning Commission in January, who reviewed their proposals and made its recommendation in favor of Andersbilt LLC. The developer proposes to acquire the property and plat it to develop, is it still 10 twin homes? Or is it 9? I think 10 twin homes. So there would be a total of 5 buildings, 10 units.
Okay, that's better.
Together with all of the necessary public and private improvements. An appraisal was completed last November, and the estimate of the site value was $100,000. The market estimate is the most probable price where the property would bring in a competitive and open market bid. The easternmost portion of the site is essentially landlocked and has minimum development potential, so that market value is really based on the 1 acre portion of the lot that's considered developable. So the developer has agreed to a purchase price of $100,000 with $10,000 in earnest money. At closing, the developer will pay for the cost of the issuance of the title commitment and the Alta owner's insurance policy, half of the closing fees charged by the title company, the cost for any environmental investigations, tests, or surveys elected to be completed by the developer. all taxes payable in accordance with the terms of the enclosed agreements, their attorney fees, and recording fees for documents to be recorded at closing. The revenue from the sale, less the city's closing costs, would be $99,480. And with that, I'll take any questions regarding that contract.
Questions, anybody? It's pretty straightforward. Good. All right.
Just so you're aware, or just to preemptively answer the question that may be coming, next steps for this project would be the developer will prepare a plat and a PUD, and that will go before the Planning Commission for approval and City Council ultimately. So I think their intent is to put the dirt, shovels in the ground as soon as possible.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's good to hear. All right. If there's no more questions, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Move. Councilmember Cole?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Schweer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? Thank you.
Great. Item C, Margaret Street Commons final plat. Turn that over to Brandy again.
Okay, thanks for holding for me. The city and the Housing and Redevelopment Authority own approximately a three-quarter acre site across the street on Margaret and Sepulveda. The city also owns the adjacent parking lot to the southwest. The majority of that property was acquired by the city back in 2018. Some of the purchase history goes back to 1987. As you know, the city and the EDA have been working for over the past few years to try to find a developer for that site. And a couple of proposals have come forward for residential mixed use. However, those projects didn't come to fruition due to the market conditions at the time. City staff has been directed to try to better prepare that site for development. So one of those steps is to get it platted so that we could legally establish the redevelopment site that we would essentially sell in the future. So that plat has been prepared. A preliminary plat was approved by City Council back in December. And the next step is to approve the final plat, which has been included in your packet.
And when I looked at that, it's taking that part out and still keeping the little park. Triangle Park, is it called, or what's that?
Central.
Central, sorry.
Central
Okay. I think Triangle fit too, would it? Yeah, okay. Perfect. Any questions, anybody? Any calls? Okay. If not, can I have a motion?
So moved.
So move. Councilmember Cole.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Schweer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? Thank you.
Next up is the Margaret Street Commons property conveyance. Again, Brandy.
So as I mentioned a moment ago, the city and the Housing Authority both have ownership of part of the property over there. And in order to consolidate the land, we also need to consolidate the ownership. And so in consultation with our city attorney, it was recommended that the HRA become the owner of that. And so this item is to convey the parcels that are related to the HRA to the city for ownership. And I would defer any questions as to the benefit of the HRA versus city ownership to our attorney.
What are the benefits, city attorney?
So to start with, one, the consolidation simply makes life easier in terms of having a single entity control at least the transfer of the property. When you look at the statutory schemes set up in terms of why have an HRA or an EDA, cities are set up for general governance. The EDAs and the HRAs have a little bit more specificity, and by little I mean quite a bit actually, in terms of what they can do in terms of helping establish housing or economic development. So we do have a broader palette of tools that we can utilize, and it's just more clear what we can start to impose. So on these sorts of things, when you're envisioning the redevelopment that's going on, it is a common recommendation to use the HRA. We have included a memo in your materials. We can certainly go over any aspects of that. I don't consider it to be a big deal necessarily to move it to the HRA. It's I would say sort of a custom and norm, which sometimes is accepted as an okay answer. Sometimes it's like, well, what does that mean? And what I can say is when the legislature, keeping in mind that as a city and what we've discussed in your training is you're a body of the statutes, you're controlled by what the legislature has given you. What the legislature has specifically set up is provisions like the HRA where they've laid out specific statutory processes that contemplate exactly what you're doing here tonight. So high level, that's what we're suggesting. And certainly the consolidation makes the most sense. So in talking to Brandy and Brian on it, it is our recommendation to go forward with what's in your packet here for your consideration tonight.
Thank you. I know we do have another piece of property under HRA as well, correct?
That on 6th Street,
Yep.
across from Webster, yes.
Yep, so that is underneath there too, and that's another one that's for future development sometime as well. So it makes sense to get all our eggs in one basket then. Okay. Any questions? Yep.
City Attorney, do you anticipate any other drawbacks that you may have not mentioned?
I don't. No, I don't. If there was a fatal flaw to going to the HRA or, hey, look out for this, then we would just keep it here at this dais and let the city determine it. But I do think it makes the most sense to transfer it to the HRA.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions from any members? If not, can I get a motion? So moved. Councilmember Schweer.
Second.
Second. Councilmember Nordby. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Nay? Thank you.
All right. Business action items, reports from city manager and departments. At our staff meeting today, we had, fire department got their certificate of compliance again for doing their inspections of the fire systems for businesses. They've been sending employees to investigative training for fires. Public Works is trying to figure out the weather just like everybody else. Been working on prepping ball fields. Well, now we're talking about a lot of snow coming, so we'll start over again. They've already made it one time around the city for street sweeping to pick everything up, and now we'll probably be putting salt down again, so we'll start over. The Vector truck is here after a long wait of getting it built, and went to the truck show and then got it back here, so it's in their possession and running it through the paces. The student-built house is now dry rocked and taped, and that's continued to move along pretty well. We got all sorts of salt now. With the contract, it was like 10% above or below what, and we've used, 56 tons this year, but we just got 560 tons delivered, so fill up your salt shakers. We have the Emerald Ash Borer contract is going to be released tomorrow to the public for first going out to low income for assistance with taking trees down on their private property. So hopefully we have a good showing for that for people applying for that. Finance has been working hard with the auditors. They'll be closing the books next week for the 2023. PD, we have, our police chief has turned in his resignation. He got a job over with Ramsey County. He will be moving over there as of the 5th of April, will be his last day here. During that time, we will have Ray Rosales be acting chief. He actually was an acting chief in the past. We have an internal posting for that position open right now. We also had 2 officers that have turned in their resignations that will be going to St. Paul, so we have some positions open, but we do have some applications in the pool, so we're getting through them as we speak. I think that's about it.
Thank you. All right, reports from council and committees. Councilmember Nordby.
We had a wonderful planning commission. We talked about our fence regulations. It actually was kind of interesting. And Brandy and her staff are doing a wonderful job of going through all our regulations and ordinances and cleaning them up and consolidating. And I can't thank her enough. She does a wonderful job, gives a great presentation. And our next one is on April 4th.
Thank you very much.
The Arts and Culture Commission is on schedule for Project Snowy now, so we're really looking forward to that, and thank you for approving those purchases. I think we have artists ready to go and working with some of the sponsors or the purchases of Snowy. And then there's also a student contest that's happening right now to wrap the electric box. So there's a lot of engagement with ISD 622, and so they were able to connect with their students to promote that. So really looking forward to that. And then our next meeting is the first Wednesday of April here in the chambers at 6:30, and that would be April 3rd.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilmember Schweer.
I missed the meeting in February. However, next week, Wednesday, it's here for Parks and Rec at 6:30 in the chambers. That's what I got.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Cole.
There was not a February EDA meeting, and due to conflict issues, we were not able to gather a quorum for the 12th. So there will be an EDA meeting in chambers this Thursday, the 21st, at 4 o'clock.
Great. Thank you very much. General business.
Not at this time.
Okay. Councilmember Wong.
Yeah, I just want to say a shout out to our forester, Josh Bond. He was in the League of Minnesota Cities, representing some of the work that he does here, and certainly with that grant, I think he's going to do a lot more. So congratulations to him and for representing our community. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Schweer? No. Okay? No.
Not today.
Okay. Try tomorrow.
It seems like forever ago that we've had our last meeting. But I want to, again, thank one more time the Minnesota History, the North St. Paul History for having all of us show up. I think it was a great time for all that we had. It's nice to be able to shed the proverbial jacket and tie and just be who we are. So thanks again, Sue Springborn, for the invitation, and we look forward to doing this again on an annual basis. And just a shout out to Public Works. I saw tree removal going on in Casey Lake today. It looks like two pretty good sized trees came down, and it's actually a sign of spring, even though we got snow coming. It's nice to see. So big shout out to Public Works.
Thank you. General business, I had a mayor for the day. The gentleman's, I can't remember his name now, I apologize, but, what? Leland, thank you. We had a great time. We did the city council. He was able to get his picture up here. When we did the fun stuff after that, we went over to Public Works, blew the air horn, almost threw him out of the truck when he hit that thing. And we went in all the different trucks. We went to the fire department. So it was a great time, and I was glad that him and his father were able to come for the afternoon, and it was just a delight to go around with them. So it was much fun. So if nothing else, I'll call for adjournment.
So move.
So move. Councilmember Wong.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Nordby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Next meeting, April,
Oh, we got an
Oh, for the next meeting, yeah.
what is it?
We have an HRA meeting?
Yeah.
Second.
After
Second.
this.
Oh, after this.
Next council meeting, yeah.
The next council meeting. And then we have another one that we have to log into for HRA then, right? Correct, as we staying in
After
here?
we're done here, yeah. Yep,
So we just signed out. We just adjourned.
great.